Hi, I'm Mac Thornberry. I always appreciate it when the folks I work for will take time to let me know what they're thinking on important issues facing our country. And in fact, every week I get several hundred emails, phone calls, letters, and sometimes postings on Facebook with the new media. I appreciate each one. One of the things that we decided we would try is to have me occasionally come and answer some of those emails and letters and postings, particularly on the issues that seem to come up most often. So this is our inaugural effort for me to answer the mail by video. But again, I always appreciate it when people take the time to contact me because it does help me do my job better. So we'll start appropriately enough from Donley County. And Kathy sends a letter from Headley. She writes, "We need to keep our post office in Headley, Texas. Everyone here uses it every day. The people in this small community really need this post office." Kathy, I think anyone who grows up in rural America, especially our part of Texas, understands the importance of the local post office. Just a little bit of background. In 1971, Congress passed a law that said the post office has to be self-sustaining. And for a number of years it has been. In other words, it gets no help from the taxpayers to run its operations. But of course what's happened is we all use email more. There are fewer people mailing letters, especially first-class letters, which is how the post office makes up a lot of its revenue. So it's having real financial problems. It's looking to do things like go from 6-day-a-week delivery to 5-day-a-week delivery. It's looking to change some of the amounts it contributes to some of its employee retirement programs. But as you noted, they've also come up with this list of 3,700 post offices around the country that they want to close. I want to be as flexible as I can be in helping the post office to meet its obligations, but I'm very much opposed to closing post offices. They may start with Headley, but they're going to go up to bigger and bigger towns because it takes a pretty good sized city to financially support a post office so that the post office actually makes money for the government. I've sent a strongly worded letter to the Postmaster General on this subject. Just last week I had a very long meeting with the postal official who's responsible for all of West Texas and our neck of the woods on this subject. It's not completely clear to what extent Congress can prevent them from closing post offices, but I'm committed to doing everything I can to prevent that from happening because I understand what you're saying, that for a lot of these communities, their lifeblood is that local post office. Next, we have an email from Wayne in Amarillo who writes, "Please do not vote to cut Social Security and Medicare. I'm 81 years old and I need these programs. The reason that these programs are in trouble is because the federal government has borrowed from them." Well, Wayne, a lot of people in our area rely on their Social Security and Medicare, and they are very important programs. You should know that all of the reforms that have been talked about in Washington apply only to people age 55 and younger. Nobody that I know of is proposing that we change Social Security or drastically cut benefits for Social Security or Medicare for the people who are on it now. Now the truth is we're going to have to make some changes though for younger workers because Social Security and Medicare simply can't survive without some sort of changes. Social Security is already paying out more in benefits than it's receiving in taxes, and even when all of the money borrowed out of Social Security is paid back, it won't be enough to keep the program going as long as we need it to. So we do have to make some changes, but those changes are just going to apply to younger workers who have time to adjust to whatever those changes may be. And similarly, there was a Facebook posting from Bill that says, "Mac, not against you, but what some people in Congress are saying about Social Security and military retirement pay is crazy and wrong. I worked and paid my dues. Why are they entitlements? It's not a handout or a dole." The word entitlement kind of gets confusing a little bit, Bill. What that means is that it's mandatory spending. In other words, everyone who meets the qualifications receives the benefit regardless of what the total cost to the federal government is. And so this name of entitlement or mandatory spending has come to apply to all of those government programs where anyone who meets the qualifications automatically gets those benefits. Of course, to qualify for Social Security, you have to pay in the requisite number of quarters. To qualify for military retirement, you obviously have to serve your country for at least 20 years. And I think, as we were just discussing for Social Security, the same applies for military retirement. It's wrong to change the rules in the middle of the game, but we do need to look to see, does the military retirement system meet the needs for younger workers? Does it help us get and keep top quality people that we want and need in the military? Those are good questions to ask, but I don't think you change the rules for the people who are there now or nearly there, because they don't have time to make the adjustment in their own personal situation. Finally, we have an email from, actually a phone call from Don in Wichita Falls, who says Tea Party members, and he's not one, are mostly just average conservative American citizens. They're average Americans and not a fringe group. Well, Don, I think that's right. Of course, there's lots of name calling and caricature bashing going on now around the country. But the fact is that the Tea Party started out with the moniker taxed enough already. And of course, trying to prevent tax increases was the reason that I ran for Congress to begin with. I think a lot of people, not just people who go to meetings, but a lot of people all around the country feel that we are taxed enough already. They're concerned about the financial situation that we're passing along to our children, and they want to do something about it. In fact, I've never seen so many people involved and paying attention, and that is a good thing, because it is the American people themselves, by paying attention and being involved, that are going to help turn this country around and right our fiscal ship that has gone so much in the wrong direction. So that's what we have for the mailbag this week. We will do some more of these letters in the future. In the meantime, again, thank you to everyone who takes the time to send an email or to write a letter or to post on our Facebook page. Please keep them coming.